Fact 50. California would be the world's fifth largest economy. California's economy measures approximately $3.9 trillion in GDP, larger than India. If California were independent, only the United States, China, Japan, and Germany would have larger economies. The state's economy exceeds the United Kingdom and France. California produces more economic output than 96% of world nations. The state's ports, agriculture, technology, and entertainment create wealth rivaling continents. Fact 49. Death Valley is the hottest place on Earth. Death Valley holds the world record for highest temperature at 134 degrees Fahrenheit in July 1913. The valley regularly exceeds 120 degrees Fahrenheit during summer. Death Valley sits 282 feet below sea level, trapping heat. The valley receives less than 2 inches of rain annually. Despite the name, Death Valley supports diverse life adapted to extremes. Fact 48. California has the tallest, largest, and oldest trees. California contains the world's tallest tree, Hyperion at 380 feet, largest tree by volume, General Sherman, and oldest trees, bristlecone pines over 4,800 years old. No other place holds all three records. Coast redwoods grow only in California's fog belt. Giant sequoias exist naturally only on Sierra Nevada slopes. Fact 47. The San Andreas Fault will cause the big one. The San Andreas Fault runs 800 miles through California. The fault is capable of magnitude 8.0 plus earthquakes. Los Angeles and San Francisco sit on opposite sides, moving past each other at 2 inches yearly. The southern section hasn't ruptured in over 300 years. The big one could kill thousands and cause over $200 billion in damage. Fact 46. Lake Tahoe could cover California in water. Lake Tahoe reaches depths of 1,645 feet. The lake contains enough water to cover California to 14 inches depth. Tahoe holds 39 trillion gallons of fresh water. The lake straddles California, Nevada at 6,225 feet elevation. Water is so clear that objects remain visible at 70 feet depth. Fact 45. California has more people than Canada. California's population exceeds 39 million, more than Canada's 38 million. The state contains more people than 160 countries. 1 in 8 Americans lives in California. Los Angeles County alone has more residents than 42 states. California's Mediterranean climate attracted the largest state population. Fact 44. Mount Whitney and Death Valley are 85 miles apart. Mount Whitney stands at 14,505 feet as the highest point in the contiguous United States. Death Valley sits at 282 feet below sea level. These extremes are separated by just 85 miles. California packs more vertical relief into a small area than anywhere else in the lower 48 states. Fact 43. The Central Valley produces 25% of America's food. The Central Valley stretches 450 miles through California's interior. This single valley produces 1/4 of all food consumed in America. The valley grows over 250 different crops. California leads the nation in producing almonds, grapes, and strawberries. The valley's flatland and Mediterranean climate create North America's most productive agricultural region. Fact 42. California's coastline stretches 840 miles. California's Pacific coastline extends 840 miles from Oregon to Mexico. The coast includes beaches, cliffs, dunes, and rocky shores. The coastline shapes California's climate, economy, and culture. The coast receives millions of visitors annually. California's coastline defines the state's identity. Fact 41. Yosemite's El Capitan is a 3,000-foot granite wall. El Capitan rises 3,000 feet of vertical granite from Yosemite Valley. The rock face is one of the world's most famous climbing destinations. The Dawn Wall Route is considered one of Earth's hardest rock climbs. El Capitan formed from granite exposed by erosion. Yosemite contains North America's most spectacular glacially carved landscapes. Fact 40. California has over 280 days of sunshine annually. Most of California enjoys over 280 sunny days per year. The Mediterranean climate creates mild, dry summers and cool, wet winters. California's sunshine attracted millions seeking pleasant weather. The reliable sunshine enables agriculture, tourism, and recreation. If you're shocked by these facts, hit subscribe. There's more coming. Fact 39. The Salton Sea was created by accident. The Salton Sea formed in 1905 when Colorado River irrigation canals breached. Water flowed uncontrolled for 2 years. Engineers stopped the flow in 1907, but a massive lake remained. The sea covers 343 square miles. The lake has no outlet and is becoming increasingly saline. Fact 38. California contains 7 different climate zones. California has Mediterranean, desert, alpine, coastal, valley, mountain, and temperate climates. Few places pack such climate diversity into one region. You can surf in the morning and ski in the afternoon. The state's topography creates multiple microclimates. Fact 37. Sequoia National Park has trees over 3,000 years old. Giant sequoias have lived over 3,000 years. These trees were ancient when Rome fell. The General Sherman tree is 2,200 years old and still growing. Sequoias exist naturally only in California's Sierra Nevada. The trees survive due to thick bark that resists fire. Fact 36. California's extremes are in the same county. Inyo County contains both Mount Whitney and Death Valley. This single county spans the greatest elevation range in America. The county covers 10,000 square miles of mountains and desert. Inyo County represents California's extremes in one administrative unit. Fact 35. The Golden Gate Bridge spans a mile-wide strait. The Golden Gate Strait is the only water connection between San Francisco Bay and the Pacific. The strait is 1 mile wide at its narrowest. The bridge spans 1.7 miles across the strait. The bridge's towers rise 746 feet above water. Before 1937, ferries provided the only connection. Fact 34. California's kelp forests are underwater ecosystems. Giant kelp grows up to 175 feet tall in coastal waters. Kelp forests create underwater ecosystems supporting thousands of species. The kelp grows up to 2 feet per day. Kelp forests protect coastlines from wave erosion. California's kelp forests are among Earth's most productive ecosystems. Fact 33. Mono Lake is 760,000 years old. Mono Lake is one of North America's oldest continuously existing lakes. The lake has no outlet, making it 2.5 times saltier than the ocean. Tufa towers rise from the lake. Mono Lake supports trillions of brine shrimp. Migratory birds depend on Mono Lake for food. Fact 32. Point Reyes is moving north 2 inches per year. Point Reyes sits on the Pacific Plate while the mainland is on the North American Plate. The peninsula moves north along the San Andreas Fault at 2 inches annually. The 1906 earthquake moved Point Reyes 20 feet north instantly. In millions of years, Point Reyes will be opposite San Francisco. Fact 31. The Channel Islands are California's Galapagos. The Channel Islands host unique species found nowhere else. Island foxes and island scrub jays evolved in isolation. The islands were never connected to the mainland. Archaeological evidence shows human habitation for 13,000 years. The islands are visible from the coast, but ecologically isolated. Fact 30. California has 280 state parks. California operates 280 state parks covering 1.6 million acres. The state park system is the largest in America. Parks range from beaches to deserts to redwood forests. State parks receive over 65 million visitors annually. Fact 29. The Mojave Desert contains Joshua tree forests. Joshua trees are giant yuccas growing only in the Mojave Desert. The trees can live 150 years and reach 40 feet tall. Joshua Tree National Park protects these landscapes. The trees exist in a narrow elevation and climate band. Climate change threatens Joshua trees with extinction. Fact 28. Shasta Dam is California's tallest dam. Shasta Dam stands 602 feet tall. The dam created Shasta Lake, California's largest reservoir by volume. The lake stores 4.5 million acre-feet of water. The dam provides water, hydropower, and flood control. Shasta Dam is essential to California's water infrastructure. Fact 27. Big Sur has coastal cliffs rising 1,000 feet. Big Sur features dramatic cliffs plunging 1,000 feet into the Pacific. Highway 1 clings to cliff faces with spectacular views. The rugged coastline is relatively undeveloped due to extreme topography. Landslides frequently close Highway 1. Big Sur is one of America's most scenic coastlines. Fact 26. California's aqueduct is 444 miles long. The California Aqueduct transports water 444 miles from north to south. The aqueduct is the world's largest water conveyance system. Water flows through canals, tunnels, and pumping plants. The aqueduct makes Southern California's population possible. Moving water over mountains requires massive energy. Fact 25. Lake Shasta has 365 miles of shoreline. Lake Shasta's irregular shape creates 365 miles of shoreline. The lake formed behind Shasta Dam in 1948. The lake has 4 major arms from different rivers. Shasta Lake is California's most popular boating destination. If you've made it this far, subscribe and turn on notifications. Fact 24. The Lost Coast is California's most remote beach. The Lost Coast is named for its inaccessibility. No highways reach this 80-mile stretch. The King Range rises directly from the ocean. Hikers can walk beaches inaccessible by vehicle. The Lost Coast remains undeveloped due to extreme geography. Fact 23. Mount Lassen is an active volcano. Mount Lassen erupted from 1914 to 1917. The volcano rises 10,457 feet in the Cascade Range. Lassen is one of the few places with all 4 volcano types. The area contains boiling springs and fumaroles. The volcano could erupt again without warning. Fact 22. California has 9 national parks. California contains 9 national parks: Yosemite, Sequoia, Kings Canyon, Death Valley, Joshua Tree, Channel Islands, Redwood, Lassen Volcanic, and Pinnacles. Only Alaska has more. The parks receive over 30 million visitors annually. Fact 21. The transverse ranges run east-west. Most California mountains run north-south, but the transverse ranges run east-west. This unusual orientation results from tectonic forces. The ranges include the Santa Monica Mountains and San Gabriel Mountains. The unusual orientation is visible on any map. Fact 20. Emerald Bay is Lake Tahoe's only island. Finette Island in Emerald Bay is Lake Tahoe's only island. The island contains ruins of a stone tea house built in 1929. Emerald Bay appears on California's State Quarter. The bay is one of California's most photographed locations. Fact 19. The Tehachapi Mountains have 5,000 wind turbines. Tehachapi Pass contains one of the world's largest wind farms. Over 5,000 turbines generate electricity from persistent winds. The pass funnels wind between valleys. The geography creates ideal wind conditions. Fact 18. Bodega Bay was almost a nuclear plant site. Bodega Bay was selected for a nuclear plant in the 1960s. Construction began before geologists discovered the San Andreas Fault underneath. The project was abandoned. The site would have been California's worst located nuclear plant. Fact 17. California's extremes are 450 miles apart. Death Valley receives less than 2 inches of rain annually. Northwestern mountains receive over 170 inches. These extremes are separated by just 450 miles. California contains more climate diversity than most countries. Fact 16. The Farallon Islands are 30 miles offshore. The Farallon Islands sit 30 miles west of San Francisco. The islands are a wildlife refuge supporting seabirds and great white sharks. The islands are off limits except to researchers. The Farallons are the sharkiest waters in North America. Fact 15. San Francisco sits on 43 hills. San Francisco has 43 named hills within city limits. Cable cars were invented to climb steep streets. Some streets have grades exceeding 30%. The hills create neighborhoods with distinct characters. Fact 14. Lava Beds National Monument has 700 caves. Lava Beds contains over 700 lava tube caves. The caves formed when lava flows cooled. Some caves extend for miles. The caves provided shelter during the Modoc War. The caves are open for exploration. Fact 13. The Russian River flows backward during high tides. The Russian River reverses flow when ocean tides push seawater upstream. High tides create temporary upstream flow. The tidal influence extends several miles inland. The river supports salmon and recreation. Fact 12. The Geysers is the world's largest geothermal field. The Geysers in Northern California produces electricity from geothermal steam. Despite the name, it contains hot springs and fumaroles, not true geysers. The field generates enough electricity for nearly 1 million homes. Fact 11. Alcatraz is surrounded by deadly currents. Alcatraz Island sits in San Francisco Bay surrounded by strong currents. The currents made escape nearly impossible from the federal prison. Water temperature averages 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Several inmates attempted escape but likely drowned. Fact 10. Mount Shasta is a massive stratovolcano. Mount Shasta rises 14,179 feet as a dormant stratovolcano. The mountain is visible for over 100 miles. Shasta contains 4 overlapping volcanic cones. 7 glaciers exist on the mountain. Mount Shasta last erupted in 1786. Fact 9. Carrizo Plain turns green after rare rains. Carrizo Plain is usually brown desert. During wet years, wildflowers create spectacular displays. The super bloom attracts thousands. The plain contains California's largest remaining grassland. Fact 8. California has natural tar pits. The La Brea tar pits have trapped animals for 40,000 years. Asphalt seeps naturally from underground. Ice Age animals became trapped and preserved. The tar pits yielded thousands of fossils, including saber-toothed cats. Fact 7. Yosemite Valley was carved by glaciers. Yosemite Valley's U-shape was carved by glaciers over millions of years. The glaciers scoured granite cliffs and created hanging valleys. Waterfalls dropped from hanging valleys. Half Dome was shaped by glacial erosion. Fact 6. The Redwood Highway passes through a living tree. The Shrine Drive-Through tree allows cars to drive through a living redwood. The tree is 315 feet tall and 21 feet in diameter. A tunnel was cut in 1937 without killing the tree. Drive-through trees are tourist attractions. Fact 5. California's deserts cover 25% of the state. The Mojave, Colorado, and Great Basin deserts cover 1/4 of California. The deserts receive less than 10 inches of rain annually. Despite harsh conditions, deserts support diverse life. Fact 4. Point Conception divides California climates. Point Conception is where Southern California's coast turns eastward. The point marks a dramatic climate boundary. North is cooler with fog. South is warmer and sunnier. Ocean currents change at Point Conception. Fact 3. Mammoth Mountain is built on a volcanic complex. Mammoth Mountain is a dormant volcano that last erupted 57,000 years ago. The area experiences ongoing volcanic activity. Long Valley caldera beneath Mammoth produced catastrophic eruptions 760,000 years ago. The caldera could erupt again. Fact 2. California has drive-through trees. Several living redwoods have tunnels carved through them, allowing cars to pass. The trees survived the tunneling due to redwood durability. These attractions date from the 1930s to 1940s. The trees demonstrate redwood resilience and California's roadside attraction culture. Fact 1. California is slowly separating from North America. The Pacific Plate carrying coastal California slides northwest past the North American Plate. In 50 million years, Los Angeles will be opposite San Francisco. Eventually, a sliver of California will separate and become an island. The San Andreas Fault marks where the plates meet. California's geography is temporary, actively being rearranged. The state sits on a moving piece of Earth's crust, slowly breaking away from the continent, demonstrating how plate tectonics continuously reshape our planet. Which California geography fact amazed you most? Drop a comment and subscribe.